Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Thrawn Treason has just been announced, and we're going to talk about it. This is a new book from Timothy Zahn that is going to be coming out in the summer of 2019, and it is actually going to be taking place during Season 4 of Star Wars Rebels, so in between when we see him leave and then before he comes back in the season finale, or series finale rather. This is going to test his loyalty, and boy, this is exciting. First off, if you're not familiar with Timothy Zahn, he's the greatest Star Wars author of all time, so you really should. His other books have been phenomenal. Thrawn, the intro, was amazing. Thrawn Alliances was still good, but wasn't that great. But I think like this one will probably be on the level of Thrawn Alliances, maybe a little bit more interesting, specifically because it's taking place after Thrawn Alliances, and we've got certain other name drops in Rebel Season 4, like Captain Paleon, who may actually be in this book. So that would be a really, really cool thing. So there's a lot more that we can do in this book. I also want to talk about the lead up to it. So earlier, before this was actually officially announced, Del Rey Star Wars on Twitter had tweeted, "Let us learn together if he was correct." And that was all they dropped. You know, this was a few hours before the Star Wars show actually dropped the announcement that, you know, this new Thrawn book was confirmed. And this had everybody in an uproar, and if you're not familiar with this quote, it was from the end of the Thrawn book. This was Admiral Aralani, I believe her name was talking to Eli Vanto about Thrawn, and basically saying, you know, all right, let's see if what he said about you was correct. So this led everybody to think that this was going to either be about her or Eli Vanto, and it seems, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more about Eli Vanto, but maybe also the Chiss ascendancy as well. So then later on, after the announcement, they tweeted, "Gibson memes are fun, but the books are better." In summer of 2019, Thrawn Treason by Timothy Zahn, set before the finale of Rebels. Thrawn's Imperial loyalty is tested. He crosses paths with Orson Krennic and his protege, Eli Vanto, returning with dire warnings about Thrawn's homeworld. So first off, Krennic is going to be in this book. That's exciting, because it'll be interesting to see how Krennic, interacts with Thrawn, because this is still well before the movie Rogue One, but probably a little closer to the Catalyst timeline, so somewhere in there where they're still, finalizing construction. And of course, you know Thrawn is not going to be happy, because at some point he gets the news that his TIE Defender program is not doing well, and the Emperor is still kind of undecided, right? So let's talk a little bit about this. Well, I'm going to read you the premise of this book. Set in the time of the Empire. Here's the official description for the new novel, direct from StarWars.com. Grand Admiral Thrawn faces the ultimate test of his loyalty to the Empire in this epic Star Wars novel from best-selling author Timothy Zahn. "If I were to serve the Empire, you would command my allegiance." Such was the promise Grand Admiral Thrawn made to Emperor Palpatine at their first meeting. Since then, Thrawn has been one of the Empire's most effective instruments, pursuing its enemies to the very edges of the known galaxy. But as a keen weapon as Thrawn has become, the Emperor dreams of something far more destructive. Now, as Thrawn's TIE Defender program is halted in favor of Director Krennic's secret Death Star project, he realizes that the balance of power in the Empire is measured by more than just military acumen or tactical efficiency. Even the greatest intellect can hardly compete with the power to annihilate entire planets. As Thrawn works to secure his place in the Imperial hierarchy, his former protege Eli Vanto returns with a dire warning about Thrawn's homeworld. Thrawn's mastery of strategy must guide him through an impossible choice: duty to the Chiss ascendancy, or fealty to the Empire he has sworn to serve, even if the right choice means committing treason. Star Wars Thrawn Treason will be available for pre-order next week and arriving on shelves in the summer of 2019. Dudes, ladies, this is exciting. This is really exciting. So, if you're not familiar with like what was kind of teased back in Star Wars Celebration in 2017, Timothy Zahn had said he was actually pitching, I don't know if it was during Celebration or shortly thereafter, but once Thrawn had come out, he said he wanted to write another trilogy. I am expecting this is book 2 of that trilogy. I'm holding up 3 fingers and saying 2. It's the 3rd Thrawn book, but I think Thrawn was not part of the trilogy. I think Thrawn itself was more of the backstory, because by the time that Thrawn came out, we had already seen Thrawn be introduced in season 3 of Star Wars Rebels, and that's like shortly after that is when Thrawn Alliances takes place. Now this is taking place season 4, and I have a feeling we need something to go along with Thrawn and Ezra. What's happening after season 4, the final season of Star Wars Rebels? And I think that it's possible we may get something towards the end of this book, although, you know, and if so, it would have to be, you know, after the final chapter, an epilogue, something like that. But I think more likely it will be the next book. Now, this book will probably drop some tidbits of information on, you know, hints to what's happening next. Alliances definitely teased that, and this is really building towards a Chiss ascendancy story. It's building on this, you know, this other. You know, I don't want to get into too many spoilers for Thrawn Alliances, but there's a whole lot going on with Cilia, his homeworld. There's a whole lot going on out that way. He's always talked about other threats, and it's not the Yuzong Vong. Don't worry about that. But there's other things going on, and this is probably going to be the warning that Eli Vanto brings back. Something that Thrawn probably already suspected. Probably going to be something more than that, though. It's probably not just going to be the threat he knows. It's probably going to be the threat he knows plus a threat he didn't know. And that's what's going to force him into his choice. Because if it's only the threat that he knows, then it won't be that difficult of a choice. He would have already begun contemplation on that choice and already have a strategy for it. There's got to be some unknown that comes into this also that actually creates the conflict and helps the story progress. That's my prediction, but I'm really hoping that we get a little bit of Captain Paleon. I'm hoping we get some more insight into his fleet, because there were also dreadnoughts in that fleet. Right? Now, they gave him a different name. They're not actually called dreadnoughts. They were called a support ship. But I have a feeling, you know, some of those little tiny things, and I think, honestly, after reading this book, we're all going to have to go watch Rebels Season 4 again, especially the finale. I mean, it's great watching it anyway. Rebels was a fantastic show. But, you know, you want to go back to the finale and look for all those little things that you maybe didn't notice before. You know, look at his fleet and you're thinking, you know, maybe his fleet was actually, you know, half the size it was in the book, because maybe he sent half of his fleet to Cilia and then he went to Lothal. Maybe something like that will end up being the, you know, the idea. You know, maybe he had 10,000 ships and then why does he only have like 20 at Lothal, you know, etc., etc. Maybe his plan all along was to summon space whales to help take him to... All right, that's a little bit too much. He probably did not plan for the Purgils. But goodness, what if he did? Wouldn't that be amazing? I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, so Thrawn, Treason. It's funny because this is one of those titles that's like Star Wars, Thrawn, Treason, is coming out next summer. I am super excited for this. I will probably be getting it on Audible, because that's how I do all of my Star Wars books. That's how I do just about all of my books now. And I especially love to do it while painting. So if you are new to the channel here, I do want to invite you to subscribe. I am running a huge new giveaway for a Super Star Destroyer in the form of a cool stuff gift card for Star Wars Armada. And all it takes to enter to win that or any of my other giveaways is to become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. Plus, I put out new videos all the time, Star Wars related. We're going to get a lot more news. You know, we expect we're going to get some Episode 9 news before the year is out. So that is going to be exciting too. All this interesting Star Wars book news, but primarily Star Wars gaming news, tabletop gaming, X-Wing, Armada, Legion, heck, even Imperial Assault and Destiny from time to time, although those are not getting as much news. Well, I say that Armada doesn't get hardly any news anymore, but the big hype is X-Wing and Legion right now. But other games as well. I've been doing a lot of board game reviews. Keyforge has been all the hype lately too, so if it's got anything to do with Star Wars or gaming, I probably cover it. So hopefully I have earned your sub. If not, well, may the Force be with you anyway. Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out Crabbok.com. Hop in my Discord, say hi. Big thanks to my patrons on Patreon as well. You guys help make all this possible. I want to thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.